Good morning. Today is December 9th at 9:45, and we are starting the December Kane County Board meeting. Okay. We'll call the roll.
Allen. Arroyo.
Here.
Bates. Doherty.
Doherty here.
Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Gripe.
Right here.
Gums.
Is here.
Iqbal.
Iqbal present.
Juby.
Be here.
Pius.
Highest present.
Leonard.
Leonard here.
Lewis. Linder.
Linder here.
Molina.
Molina present.
Hennessis.
Hannes here.
Roth.
Roth here.
Sanchez.
Sanchez present.
Strathman.
Surges remote.
Tarver.
Bruce here.
Tepe. Williams.
Here.
Young.
Here.
You have a quorum in the room.
Okay, thank you. Can we approve any allowing Mr. Surges and Mr. Doherty to attend remotely?
No objection.
No problems? Okay, thank you. I forgot to look up who's scheduled to do the pledges. Michael?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. You might think I'd bring a Christmas themed invocation, but as this is the first meeting of our new fiscal year, I'd like to think about new beginnings. In the past year, we did a lot of good work, but didn't get everything done just the way we as individuals would have it. We had a few laughs, but more groans. Maybe that's the way government works. We had a few meetings when the discussions felt personal. In those times, we may have felt hurt and defensive. Yet we come back to this table with the best interest of Kane County and its residents and businesses in mind. And I believe that within the boundaries of our authority and resources, we did our best. We face challenges in the year to come, but we will meet those challenges and have hope that the business of the people is in good hands. I ask that you silently invoke the presence of whatever higher power gives you guidance and hope. And I'll give you a few seconds to get there. To the source of all wisdom and life, thank you for this new beginning and for bringing us together. As we embark on this new year and this important meeting, bless our endeavors. Guide our discussions today, granting us wisdom and clarity so our decisions build a brighter future. Help us set aside personal agendas to serve the greater good, fostering unity and positive action in our community. Grant us vision, purpose, and unity. May we act with integrity, serve with a compassion, and create positive change. Lead us to wise decisions and fruitful outcomes. May our time together be filled with grace, understanding, and commitment to what is right. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. Before we start public comment, I'm going to request we move one piece of new business to the beginning from Mr. Doherty. He's not able to stay for the whole meeting, so I want to make sure he has an opportunity, if everyone is okay with that. Okay, Mr. Doherty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to announce that I will be resigning before the end of the year. I wanted to thank every single board member. I've learned something from each and every one of you, and I appreciate all of you. Some of you have been closer than others. I've learned something. And I also want to thank everybody who comes for public comments. We appreciate your comments. And I'm so sorry that if I had known that this illness would have been so debilitating, I never would have run for office. I did the best I could. And I apologize. I'm just not capable of keeping up at all. And I don't think it's appropriate for me to hang around and just take up space. I wish you luck in my replacements. Jennifer Ebicola is one of the people running for my office. I've spoken with her. Some of you have spoken with her. I hope you all do. And you can ease her through the transition into my role. And again, I thank you all. I appreciate y'all. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty.
Mr. Chair Gums.
Yes, Ms. Gumbs.
Thanks, Gums here. Mr. Doherty, I want to say thank you for your service. I've gotten to know you pretty good. I call you a friend. You are my buddy. And I hope that we stay in touch, and I love you lots. And thank you again.
Thank you. Any other comments before we go to public comment? Yes, Mr. Gripe.
I would just like the board, if for those that feel motivated, I think any kind of service to the public is a great thing, that we just stand and give him a thanks of applause for that. So,
Okay.
I'll start.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr.
Caius,
Caius.
but on the agenda is a point of information. Are we going to do approval of the minutes from November 10th? Did I miss that?
Right, I skipped over that.
Mr. Chairman, I would ask for unanimous consent.
Okay, thank you,
The
Mr.
approval of the
Caius.
minutes from November 10th, 2025.
Any objection? Okay,
Just to be official. Thank you.
yes, thank you. Motion. Okay, now on to our favorite
Oh.
section.
Just to wrap it up, thank you all for the appreciation and the applause. It's very special to me. Thank you all.
And thank you, Gary.
Okay,
And you're in my prayers going forward.
thank you.
Now our favorite section, public comment. We only have a few today. First one is Wilma Van Aragon. Welcome. You
Thank you.
state your name and where you live.
My name is Wilma Van Aragon, and I live in Batavia. I am here to thank the board for passing the resolution last month to prohibit ICE from using county property for their inhumane activities. Let me tell you why this is so personal to me. I am an immigrant from the Netherlands via Canada. My immediate family survived the occupation in Holland during World War II. They stood up and resisted at their own peril the horrors they saw around them, the deportation and elimination of all those deemed by the regime as other. The behavior and rhetoric they described are frighteningly parallel to what I hear today from certain board members and certain members of my community. Fast forward to today, I do volunteer work advocating for and trying to protect our immigrant neighbors. Let me describe to you what I have seen firsthand. Unmarked vehicles with tinted windows, masked, unbadged, unidentified people jumping out of cars, grabbing victims without due cause, without due process, handcuffing and zip tying them without warrants and throwing them into the back of these vehicles. No warrants, abusive language, abusive behavior, terrorized and screaming victims, families, and children, screaming for help. What I have witnessed happened at the Kane County Judicial Center on Route 38 and at the St. Charles Police Department. These are crimes against humanity. These victims are not, in large majority of cases, criminals. They are people who are navigating a cumbersome, expensive, and archaic system designed to keep brown people out. They are human beings who come here to build a better life for themselves and their families, much like their ancestors did. I have navigated this system myself. It does not escape me that my being of Northern European heritage puts me in a position of privilege. My brown neighbors with the exact same documentation status I do have to carry their papers on them. I do not. More recently, I was in Elgin bringing supplies in to residents in a neighborhood where ICE was disrupting the community. I actually had an ICE agent a young masked man screaming at me as I was crossing the street legally at an intersection, pointing a gun at me. So those of you on the board who voted yes on the resolution, thank you. You voted against crimes against humanity. For those of you who voted no and your supporters, I hear you invoking the name of Jesus in your verbiage, in your prayers and invocations and your rhetoric. I suggest you remember, welcome the stranger, feed the poor, and love your neighbor. To whom much is given, much is required. And my personal favorite, act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. According to some of you, that makes me a Marxist or socialist. I think it makes us caring human beings. And to the state's attorney who would like to remain neutral, to quote Elie Wiesel, to remain neutral in the face of oppression is to side with the oppressor. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Steve Leffler.
Hey, everybody, Steve Leffler, just a quick one. We found out an hour ago or so that the taxpayers are getting a windfall from an easement. Be great if everybody here could use their collective abilities to use that to help us get the Union Pacific to release the lines in St. Charles that they've abandoned. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Ginger Romano.
Good morning. Ginger Romano.
Ginger, can you get a little closer, please?
Sure. Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been attending for a few years now. But the last 4 years or so, I've seen a spending spree. First, it was we have too much in reserves. We need to lower that, so you spent it. Then you got the ARPA funds. I have to say, probably a good part of what was spent there was for good cause. All I can see is building a large government with more people. I noticed one department has many directors and people that seem to have specific jobs. Are these all full-time positions? And a lot of them seem overpaid. And I don't know, I just kind of picture a lot of people not having a whole lot to do. So anyway, I could be wrong. And most of them have better benefits than most of the people that pay taxes to sustain what I see as bloat. It seems government's turning into a social welfare project. The board members here are supposed to be trustees and good stewards of our tax dollars. But all I see is our taxes that we're being taken advantage of, and our taxes going up and new taxes being created, not only here, but all over the state. When are you going to tighten your belts? And I know I've heard people say that maybe there's only, the county only gets 4% of our tax dollars, but that's out of the whole county. There's townships that can't afford a lot of things. And here we go buying fleets of trucks that cost, $80,000 to $100,000 a piece, and you buy like 4 or 5 of them at a time. So I'm just saying, sometimes I think you have this wish list instead of a need list, and it would be nice to see you guys be very mindful of our money that we work really hard for. And that's about all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next is Denise Theobald.
Morning, everyone. Denise Theobald, Geneva. Yesterday, I, along with many others in this room, actually witnessed something at the Kane County Judicial Center that I never imagined I would see, not in our community. A group of about 8, 9 masked men, a woman on government property, taking a man from the sheriff's office. I say take, not arrest, because there was no due process. These masked individuals swarmed in unmarked cars, did not present warrants, did not show badges. They refused to identify themselves. We don't know who this man was. We don't know if he was documented, undocumented, US citizen. We don't know if he was guilty of a crime or simply targeted because of the color of his skin. What's frightening is we don't know the secrecy, the lack of transparency. But we do know this: due process was nowhere to be seen. Chaos and lawlessness are happening everywhere. If you don't know this, I ask, why don't you know this? It's been happening in our backyard for months, and it's bad. Over the last 6 months, I've witnessed multiple encounters that have solidified a frightening belief that we are moving away from our democratic republic and towards an authoritarian system where people are othered and rights disappear based on skin color, origin of birth, who you love, how you identify, and your gender. Just this past Sunday in Elgin, up to 40 agents, 40, surrounded one individual, claiming after the fact that he was a gang member, and which is already disputed. DHS, as we know, has been proven to lie, even in court. The man detained in Elgin was a resident and legally protected status. Again, mass chaotic, no warrants, no identification anywhere, weapons drawn, overtaking an entire neighborhood, deploying tear gas and pepper spray on nearby residents and bystanders. 7 people medically treated for just being a bystander. Imagine this trauma for this community and the children peering out of the windows in their neighborhood. This lawlessness, this animal-like hunting of fellow human beings. For what? Quotas? For bonuses? All paid by us, the taxpayers, to the tune of $176 billion. Not to care for our seniors, feed or educate our children, care for our veterans, but to hunt and kidnap fellow human beings based on the color of their skin. This is fascism, pure and simple, and we all better start denouncing it until we can't anymore. So I ask this board and elected officials, why is it considered partisan to demand constitutional rights for over 1/3 of our Kane County population? Why is it controversial to stand up for due process, transparency, and basic humanity? Can someone answer that here?
Okay. We have 2 people who are signed up to speak regarding Orchard Solar petition 4673. We'll have you speak when we review that petition in the agenda. And the next speaker is Chris Lawson.
Before I begin, or before you begin my time, could we put up the slide? And then, okay. Good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and members of the public. Just 2 thoughts and 1 slide today. 2 things seem to be repeated by the board and its chairman to justify multiple tax increases. The first one is people repeat, but it's only 4%. It reminds me of 8th grade, Sister Mary Carroll, Bill Leonard in the class. One of Sister Mary Carroll's favorite activities was the Optimist Oratorical Contest. And Sister Mary Carroll had us all participate. And to this day, I won't forget the opening line that Dexter Perkins, who went on to win and then go to the state, but he said at the beginning of his speech, goes, the proper consideration of a thing is seen in its relationship to the whole of which it is a part. And so what I would ask people to consider when they look at tax increases is what a small business owner in Kane County who's single pays on their next dollar of net income, $64,225. The federal income tax bracket is 22%. Self-employment tax is 15.3%. State income tax is 4.95. So call it 5%. That's 42.3% of that next dollar goes off to government before you consider sales tax, according to artificial intelligence, 3.4 across the country. Gas tax now, if you consider federal, state, and county, is $1. And with just this morning, I read a report that 37 states have less than $3. So the cost of gas is going down. Tolls and sales tax increases to pay for mass transit, then the whopping property tax, grocery tax, and telephone and other utility taxes. When I used to give presentations in grade schools and talk about taxes as an accountant, I used to ask, well, what do you think is a fair amount? And children out of the mouths of babes, people would say about a quarter. Quarter would be about fair. Affordability is the modern political buzzword. And I believe I have 30 seconds left. But today, it's taxes that are the largest expense we face. And then the other thing that's said frequently is we're all in this together. Really, I think that depends on what you mean by we, because when the county board taxes and spends it, the taxpayers pay and worry about it. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. That's all we had on the list today. Anyone feel they got missed? Okay, we're done with public comment. Thank you, everyone. Okay, the next, it was put under chairman comments. The first is TMP-25-1476, the Kane County Emergency Telephone System Board appointments. And Mr. Who's making the comment on that?
I'll make a motion to move.
Okay,
Gums will second.
all right, thank you.
And these are reappointments for both individuals.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Allen. Arroyo. Bates.
Bates, yes.
Doherty.
Doherty, yes.
Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Gripe.
Gripe, yes.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Juby.
Shubi, aye.
Tyus.
Tyus, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Linder.
Linder, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Hennessis.
Yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman. Sturgis.
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver.
Tarver, yes.
Tepe.
Tepe, yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is TMP-25-1475, the PACE fiscal year 2026 budget. And Mayor Shelkey is, I believe, is here. Can we have a motion and a second for that?
Sanchez moves.
Tarver seconds.
Thank you. You come up to the mic, yeah. We make everyone come up to the mic. Sorry, Mayor.
I don't have any questions.
Well,
Get it nice and close.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
There's a lot I could say. I would just say that this past year has been kind of an interesting year for all of us in the public transportation world, with the state legislature deciding it wanted to take this on and change some things. And so we've got a new boards and we've got all kinds of good stuff. I'm not going to get into all that. I would just say that I serve not only as the Kane County representative to the PACE board, but I also serve as the chairman of the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning's Council of Mayors downtown. And the CMAP, which is our nickname, I guess, is the one that had the role in kind of orchestrating and reviewing all this legislation that was on. And let me just say that some of the early versions of this would not have been good for Kane County. There was a major movement to gain specifically Cook County and the city of Chicago in particular, a large share of the money. And we had such ideas in our head that we were going to assess $1.65 for every package that's delivered to your home. We were also going to have, they had one where if you sold a property in any one of the 6 outlining counties surrounding Cook, not including the city of Chicago, that you would pay $1,000 per every $100,000 that you made from that sale to a special fund for them. And, you know, if you had a $500,000 sale of a house, it was 5,000 went to the RTA. And we got rid of all this stuff now. And I guess I was part of the opposition. Needs to say, I am not a very popular person with Cook County Board Chairwoman Preckwinkle. She's had a couple of in-my-face conversations, so that's been interesting. But anyway, the PACE budget this year is pretty strong because of this new law that was passed. It's going to increase things. And we are going to see some very strong things. The lack of if they had taken all this money away from us, we would have had, I'd be standing here today talking to you about cutting things. Well, we're not having to cut things. We're going to hopefully be expanding the service a little bit in Kane County. We're doing this kind of slowly because we want to make sure that our partners with the RTA and the Metro service are also in sync with us. We got some new ideas about buses arriving at train stations and picking people up and taking them to where they need to go or whatever. That's one idea. We've also, one of the things we're pushing very strongly for is to add lanes onto I-88 from Route 31 in North Aurora out to 47 in Elburn. We had a meeting about that last week. And we've already been in some of you from the north end of the county are aware we've been very involved in the expansion of 90 coming out of Chicago. And we now have this bus on the shoulder program going where we have a special lane there that is now saved. You're not supposed to, you as a passenger car, you're not supposed to drive in it, but some people try it. But if you get caught, you get fined $250. But we have that now going from Elgin into basically Schaumburg area. And so we've got some nice things happening and we're making travel easier. And our most popular thing is the bus on the call and ride service that we have now in Kane County, where if you need a bus and specifically we're trying to target the older people and those handicapped, and you call us and we will send a bus over to pick you up and take you to where you want to go. We have one kind of interesting problem about that is that we have to maintain the bus service within the RTA service area. And in our case, we got Kendall County right south of us here, Oswego, Yorkville. They're not in the RTA, so we can't send the bus down into Oswego and Yorkville. And we have a lot of people sometimes say, gee, I need the bus to take me to Rockford. Well, we can't go up to Rockford. We got to get them an Uber or something to come over and meet the bus and take them the rest of the way. But there's a lot of interesting changes going on in transportation right now. And the PACE staff, and we've got 2 of them with us here this morning, Jacqueline Lopez and Stephen Andrews. And would you guys just raise your hand? If any of you have any particular questions, feel free to talk with them afterwards. But we're very pleased with so far what's happening. And I can't speak to the new board because it hasn't been basically created yet or met yet. That's kind of in the way. And I guess if I'm going to stay, you may have to vote on keeping me there. But I do want to make one final comment, and that is that Kane County has a phenomenally good transportation staff. And in Chicago at CMAP, where the money gets delegated and whatever have you, our transportation staff for Kane County is highly respected and acknowledged. And they know that they're here we're in there for serious business. And so I just wanted to take a moment and let you know the good job your staff is doing in Chicago with the CMAP board, and that gets then into the RTA and all us and PACE and Metro. So I would like to just thank the county board chairwoman. She's been very active and helping us meet. And the last thing I want to comment on is that we are quickly trying to turn the fleet over to electric buses. And we've got a number of them now in Elgin. We're having to build charging stations now at where we store the buses. And this is not a cheap thing. And, you know, you have to slowly do this, but we're working it out. And we think it over the next 10, 20 years, all the buses will end up being electric. And we'll be saving on the air and the pollution and everything else by that. But it's not going to happen overnight, but we are on the course to do that. So does anybody have any particular questions you wanted to ask me?
Okay. Thank you, Mayor
Sure.
Shelby.
Appreciate it.
The Assistant State's Attorney pointed out this was a presentation, so we did not need the motion or second, and the next two are also presentations. So that was the pace. The next one is TMP -25-1480 RTA fiscal 2026 budget. Is Director Chris Groven here? Please come up to the mic. Thank you, Director.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Get closer. You gotta be really right into that mic.
Every year I do this. Yeah, I was too far back. So good morning. Thank you very much for having us today to discuss the 2026 RTA budget. And thank you for your ongoing support for transit across the region. It sounds a bit dramatic, but we really are in a new era for the Chicago region. The General Assembly having taken a major step to ensure stable, reliable public transit across the region. Local elected officials like you all from across the Chicago region have contributed to this historic victory, some of which Mayor Schilke was just referencing, that will allow the RTA and service boards to avoid layoffs, avoid service cuts, and in fact, no fare increases in 2026. Instead, riders will see continued service improvements and upgrades to the rider experience. I'd specifically like to thank Chair Perogue, the entire Kane County Board, and some of the aforementioned staff out here in Kane County that have been so valuable in the hard work to actually get us where we are today through their advocacy in Springfield and in Chicago. And over the last couple of years, this would really not have been possible without that support. Building on 3 years of ridership growth, the new funding will allow CTA, Metra, and PACE to increase hiring, improve employee and rider experience, increase frequency, and create a pathway to additional improvements to public safety and reliability that riders have been asking for several years. This new funding will be transformative for us, for suburban communities whose residents and businesses rely on access to frequent, reliable Metra and PACE service. Specifically at Metra, they can accelerate their transition to a regional rail and move closer to its goal to deliver frequent service on a regular interval all day, every day, not just in the evening and the morning rush. PACE can further expand on its bus on shoulder and the pulse networks that Mayor Schilke was just referencing, and to support the busiest suburban corridors and expressways. And people with disabilities can continue to rely on ADA paratransit service, flexible options like the rideshare and taxi access programs. We at the RTA board heard some of the most moving public comments around the RAP and TAP program, where people have now been able to engage and socialize in the community where they never were able to before, those that have various levels of disability. So that's a huge move forward. And then additional support to the dial-a-ride programs. Along with all this, there were reforms, the governmental reform or the governance reforms that Mayor Schilke referenced, that will strengthen coordination across all three operators to make it easier to transfer between services and travel from suburb to suburb. This idea of the regional transit or regional rail as opposed to just the hub and spoke that gets you into and out of the city. So thanks again for your tireless efforts and support for sustainable transportation. We look forward to continuing to work with you now that we are in this new place and have funding to provide improvements, safety improvements, service improvements. And now I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Leanne Redden.
And I will continue with the thanks by thanking you for your appointment of Chris Groven to the RTA board. He is a great advocate for the county in the work that he does at the regional entity. I will just kind of cover a couple of quick things that we're sort of required to cover. And Chris touched on the highlights of this, this new day of the new funding that the state passed. And instead of having these sort of doom and gloom conversations that you've heard from us, all transit agencies for the past several years, we are really in a new space of no service cuts, no layoffs, and moving towards expanded and enhanced service across the entire region. Chris touched on the ridership trends, but I just wanted to show you that visually so you can see that we are increasing, ridership has been increasing year over year, and we want to double down on that with this new funding and continue to provide better and more service for the region. Some of the specifics around the funding and the new budget. In 2026, the existing operating public funding stands at 2.5, just nearly $2.6 billion. With the new 0.25% RTA sales tax and the reallocated state sales tax on gasoline, that we project to be about 199 million and 366 million, I should say, respectively, in new funding coming into the region's transit system. And by 2027, when the full amount of those new funds start to flow into the system, we'll be, as a region, seeing about 1.2 billion coming into the transit system. This is transformational funding. We have never had that level of funding and stability for the transit system. So the three operators can really now begin to plan and deliver a transit system that really responds to the needs of this entire region. Just to talk through how that looks. Sorry, that slide did not advance. Here we go. Yeah. The way the funding then is going to be split across the three operators for the region. Back in November 9th, basically 9 days after the state passed the new legislation, the RTA board convened a special meeting to look at how to allocate some of those monies. So the initial tranche of those monies is being split up this way, with the CTA funding being increased by 141 million, Metra by 28 million, and PACE by 19 million. The board also allocated just shy of 57 million for the region's rideshare access and taxi access program, which is services, the complementary services that PACE provides for ADA people with disabilities across the region. And the point making that is it's been was a big gap in the funding for the system, and it shows the region's commitment to providing services for people with disabilities. The RTA's budget as an entity was not adjusted. Point being that we didn't take any of the additional funding to support the regional entities, with the eye on additional dollars going to services on the street. The total increase of operating funding for 2026 represents about 564 million. That really does ensure that stability for the three operators. The final budgets will be approved by the RTA board at its December 18 meeting. I know you're going to hear a little bit more from Metra about some of their specifics, so I won't go into a lot of details around the individual service board budgets. But a couple of things to point that I want to highlight out of the legislation that did pass on Halloween a month and a half ago, is there was some reform also around the fare box recovery ratio, lowering that from 50% to 25% for mainline services, as well as dropping it to 5% for ADA paratransit. This is an important change for the region that really reflects the way the transit system operates, with a sort of a balancing of the riders having to have skin in the game and support the funding of the transit system, but recognizing kind of the role and the costs associated with the three operators. The recovery ratio changes really makes it much more achievable for the three operators to meet those trends and gets us in compliance with sort of national standards. In terms of some of the new funding, while it's stabilizing the existing operations, and Ms. Shelke touched on this, you'll hear a little bit more about this from Metra, there is a forward-looking focus on enhancing and improving services across the region. Some of the areas that we will begin working on in 2026 with the three operators is allowing, giving them the sufficient funding so they can hire and train more operators across the transit system to deliver the levels of service that are needed. expanding programs like the Access Pilot Program that is providing low fares to people that are food stamp SNAP eligible, expanding that across to PACE and CTA in the coming year. Expanding what we call access to transit, which is capital investments in and around transit facilities so people can better access the transportation network that exists, sidewalks, crossings, those kinds of things. And beginning to doing planning with the three operators to create, and Mayor Shelkey touched on this, better coordination between the three operations to provide better service for all residents of the region, and increasing investments and operations focused on public safety, and launching a transit ambassador program in the region in the coming year. Longer term, as we look to the Northern Illinois Transit Authority, which is what the new regional entity will be named, that regional entity will build on those that work and continue to look to creative ways to invest in the transit network across the system. But in this transition period, we are very focused on setting up this new regional entity for success going forward. Just a couple of highlights out of the Senate Bill 2111 and what that's going to look like for this region. So the new board, there will be a new board, Mayor Shelkey. All three boards need to be reappointed on the operator side. There is some restructuring on that as well, and some significant changes to the regional board. Beginning in June, which is when the new NETA board, the legislation goes into effect with the new NETA board to be seated by September, the regional entities board will go from 16 to 20 members. The key change is that the governor will now appoint 5 members to the regional board. It'll be still 5 from the city of Chicago, 5 from Cook County, and then 1 from each of the color counties, making up the 20-member board for the region. And then finally, the chairman will be elected from within the members of that regional board. Another nuance to this new legislation is that 17 of the 20 members of the regional board will also have to do double duty and serve on one of the 3 service boards, so either on CTA, Metro, or PACES board as well. So the thinking is that sort of having that cross-pollination, if you will, across those boards gives better insights to better coordination across the integration of services, and really taking on that sort of not just the local perspective, but bringing in that to the regional level as well. I touched on a few of these, but some of the key dates, June 1st is when the legislation goes into effect, with a new board being seated by September next year. I already noted, though, there's a lot of work that's already happening to set up success for this future for the region and the region's transit network. November 6th, the RTA board held a special meeting to actually do the reallocation of the funding. There's still additional funds. Some of those funds that are passed in the legislation don't get realized until the latter part of the year. So there'll be additional action taken at the regional level to allocate additional dollars as we go forward in 2026. In early 26, though, I noted that we will begin the planning work about future expanded and enhanced services on the region, across the region. June 1st is when the legislation goes into effect. In the summer, the new board will be seated. And by September 1st, the current RTA board terms expire. And though appointments can be reappointed to the regional board. And there is a transition period where IDOT is brought in to sort of support all of the transition with the regional board as well as the 3 service boards. Just a couple of quick notes on the 5-year capital program to cover the statutory requirements of the things we are supposed to be discussing with you as well. That most of the conversation just before this was all about the operating side of things. We do have a $9.3 billion 5-year capital program that will continue. There is some additional capital monies from the state going into the program. CTA, Metro, and PACE are really focusing their efforts on the continuation of reinvesting in the infrastructure we have, but also transitioning to zero emission vehicles, addressing expansion and upgrades across the entire region as a whole. SB 2011 does include some new revenue for the interest on the road fund from the road fund balance, which will mean about an additional $200 million statewide, $180 million of additional state money coming into this region for capital projects as well. Those projects have not been reflected in the annual budget. We will do that as we get into the new year, once the service boards, the three operators, have had time to assess their programs and put forward new proposals. So with that, I will wrap up my comments. Happy to answer any questions if you have any. This is just a few of the next steps that are coming on the timeline for us with the regional budget. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, Mr. Gripe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much for the presentation. Around like page 133 or something, the word marks was used. I'm not familiar with it in that context. Is that a synonym for goals, maybe?
No. So funding marks is essentially, sorry, it's written in the legislation this way, and I should not use jargon that we use all the time. So the funding marks is basically the funding allocations. So right now, the state law dictates actually where the lion's share of the monies go. So it's basically that the regional entity has to then say to each operator, here's the totality of what we expect to be public funding available for the coming year. And this is how much by either statute is dictated to go to CTA, Metra, and PACE. So we call those funding allocation the funding marks.
Okay. And a follow-up, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
On page 131, Blair, if you could pull that up. It was interesting to see the numbers that go with each of the transit segments. And I used to be a Metro guy, you know, going into the city, and it looks like the lowest. But my guess is it's one of the most expensive. And I'd love to see a chart like this that shows the cost per rider on Metro, CTA bus, and PACE.
And we can get that data to you. We can run that through the chair's office and get that to you. Metro may actually address some of that in their comments. I'm not sure, but we actually have it also very publicly available on our transparency portal that shows cost per rider, cost per mile, those kinds of breakdowns. Metro actually is, from a national standard, not one of the most expensive commuter rail systems in the country. It's actually, with the fare restructuring they did about a year and a little bit ago, actually brought things, actually made it kind of a little cheaper in some respects, but better aligned the fare structure to the demand and the ridership trends that are happening across the region. So I think it's a smaller share of the total ridership. The point being that all our ridership across each operator is going up and continues to go up, and this new funding will support, especially Metro, on their work around moving toward more of a regional commuter model, which means more frequent service throughout the day and into weekends to actually respond better, because we're not that traditional AM in the morning, PM in the evening commuter rail. The pandemic, as we all say, changed everything, and Metro has already started, it's been responding to that and has a lot more plans to actually expand upon that and deliver more of that regional network coverage service that they can.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Metro presentation because I heard an inference to what I would consider light rail for that during the day kind of thing. And I'm wondering if that's where we're headed. Very interesting.
Yes, that is the plan for Metro to head, and they're actually going to start. They've already been doing small portions, and I'll stop because Chair McMahon can speak to it much more eloquently than I can. But thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Director Redden.
Thank you.
Okay. The last presentation is Metro fiscal 2026 budget. Director McMahon is here. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to see all of you again, and thank you for the opportunity to present Metro's 2026 operating budget, both operating and our capital budget. I want to echo some of the comments that Director Groven and Leanne made about really the heavy lift that all of you did in outreach to members of the General Assembly to get that legislation introduced, to get it modified and get it across the finish line. Not quite signed by the governor yet, but certainly all of us in public transportation expect that that will happen in the coming weeks. A few changes from my presentation when I presented our proposed budget to the Transportation Committee a couple weeks ago. At that time, the legislation had not been passed. And what I'm presenting today is now a balanced budget with 0 service cuts, 0 fare increase, And it rolls back the fare increase that the Metro Board passed earlier this summer at the direction of the RTA Board. But with the legislation, that has been reversed. There's no increase in fares. There's no increase in service cuts. The goal of that legislation, and I think it was covered well by Executive Director Redden, really has been to create a stabilized funding source for public transportation, for our riders, for the employees, take pressure off the surface roads, and to centralize and coordinate capital investment across the three service boards. So we're pleased to see that your work and the work of the General Assembly has gotten us to this point today. Our 2026 budget continues to rely on COVID relief funding, but we expect that funding will run out late in the fourth quarter of 2026. We project a 5% annual increase in ridership growth over the next year and the coming years in 27 and 2028. As you can see, just kind of a quick overview of our 2026 operating budget. As I mentioned, we're still relying on COVID relief funds, but as we move into 2027 and then our anticipated budget for 2028, we shift from reliance on the COVID funds that we've really been able to draw out over a number of years to funding that is created and generated from the new legislation. You can see on that slide that our expenses continue to go up. Those are driven really by inflationary costs related to maintenance, labor, healthcare, rail repairs and replacement, and then fuel costs as well. I want to talk briefly about our investment in our capital program and maybe set that up by the kind of an understanding of what we do on a daily basis. We move approaching 200,000 passengers a day. The peak during the week continues to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That really is over 690 trips, daily trips across the region. Our region covers to the north into just over the state line into Wisconsin. But then, as you know, as far west as Elburn here in Kane County, Elgin, kind of north central Kane County. But also areas like Harbor, Joliet, Manhattan, University Park to the south and southwest. That covers about just over 1,100 miles in the Northeast Illinois region. And so we continue to invest in tracks, bridges, and rail crossings. That comes from a combination of state and federal dollars. Here's an explanation of those funding sources. This is a little greater detail of where that money comes from. It's a combination of federal grants, state PAYGO funds through from the motor fuel tax, but the majority of the capital project funding comes from federal dollars, whether that's federal tax reimbursement, reimbursement to the state from federal sources, or like that climate mitigation and air quality grant that we receive as well. We spread that money across a number of different capital programs. Our rolling stock is essentially our passenger cars, our locomotives, but then also, which is the majority of the capital funding, almost 48% of our 5-year capital program goes to reinvestment in those passenger cars and locomotives, but also in our bridges, tracks, and structure. There was a question earlier about light rail. Metro really operates on heavy rail, so we own some of our rails. We don't operate any light cars on light rail transportation. Many of our lines are owned by some of the Class 1 railroads. So the line here to Geneva and out to Elburn is owned by the Union Pacific. We have an agreement with Union Pacific. We have an agreement with the BNSF, the line that runs to Aurora. And then we pay a mile, kind of a usage fee, a franchise fee to them. So we don't really operate on light rail. Certainly that's something that, we have looked at. Some of the cars that we have looked at for kind of long-term investment are changes the kind of the structure and the design of some of the cars to make them more fuel efficient. But we don't really operate on a light rail line, and we don't have plans to expand into that area, primarily because most of our lines are owned by Class 1 railroads. So we have a combination of passenger and freight traffic on those lines. Here are the really the large projects. The big one has been the development of new lighter, not on light rail lines, but lighter, more efficient train cars. We are out on contract with some improved rail cars. We expect kind of delivery in sometime in 2027. The cars that are being designed are still going through some of the, really not the design phase, but the testing phase. One big step in a new passenger rail car. It sounds kind of aggressive, but they have to go through what is called a crush test. So pressure on both ends of the test to see how that passenger car would react to some type of a collision. That crush test is scheduled for February of 26. We've had some delays with the manufacturer on that. That'd be kind of the next big step in the development and delivery of new passenger rail cars, hopefully in 2027. Kind of quickly, I know we've been here a long time this morning talking about public transportation. I'll try to answer questions here when we finish. But again, I want to talk to you just a little bit about the stations and parking that we fund across the region here. Again, I want to really emphasize the service area. It covers up to Kenosha, Wisconsin, as I mentioned earlier. Harvard, kind of the outliers of each one of our lines are Kenosha, Harvard, Illinois, Elburn, Joliet, Manhattan, and then University Park. We have really tried to focus our investment to improve the rider experience. We've improved signage, has both audio and visual announcements of incoming and outgoing trains. When the next one will arrive, you can see that on the image there on the left. Those are being deployed across our nearly 500 stations across the region. We have increased the number of passenger cars that have the ability for riders to ride their bicycle to the station, put their bicycle on the train, take their bike off the train, and really cover what we call in public transportation coverage of that last mile. So many of our riders can get from kind of center city to center city, whether it's here in Geneva or Elgin or Aurora to downtown Chicago. But then that last mile is kind of a challenge for them to cover. And by increasing the number of passenger cars with bicycle capacity, that aids our riders in covering that first mile and that last mile. And then the last image there is we deployed about 18 months ago ticket vending machines to allow passengers to buy a ticket right on the station platform, as opposed to having our conductors carry change, sell tickets. It allows the conductors to really pay more attention to safety, to address other rider concerns, to get people on and off the train safely and quickly, to improve on-time performance. Before I kind of turn it over to questions, let me give an update on our labor agreement. Metra has 14 separate unions that operate and help us run our trains on a daily basis, from track maintenance to conductors to men and women that repair our equipment. It's a kind of a point of pride at Metra. Historically, when equipment needed to be repaired, we would send that work out to some other state. And that moved jobs outside of Illinois. Over the last decade, we have returned most of that work in-house, where the men and women that run our trains, that essentially build our train cars from scratch. Many of our train cars date back to the Eisenhower era, that have been rehabbed and rebuilt, and we are doing the majority of that work in-house. Likewise, when we have mechanical equipment that needs to be repaired or replaced, so the engineering aspect, to open and close the automatic doors, the ventilation system, the heating cooling system. Historically, we would send that out of state. We're now able to keep that in-house and our crafts can do that work in-house. That leads to quicker turnaround time, better quality, and better, we're able to return cars to service quickly to again improve service to our riders. We have 14 different unions that do that work. All of those agreements are coming up over the next really 6 to 7 months. We have a couple of tentative agreements in place. We have one contract, we have 2 contracts ratified, but that will be a big lift for us to move through for the next 6 to 7 months as well. So as I close, again, I thank you for the opportunity to serve Metra for the last, I've been on the Metra board, I guess for about 4.5 years now. And for the last year, I have served as its chairman of the Metra board. So I appreciate that opportunity. Look forward to working with you all again as we move into the future. Leanne Redmond talked about, and I think covered very thoroughly, the changes in the legislation. So with that, I can try to answer any questions. Thank you.
Genesis?
Hi. Thank you, Mr. McMahon. Where does the Rockford Metro service fit into this whole thing? That runs through Kane County.
It does, and I thank you for bringing that up. That the extension of the Milwaukee District West Line will go from Big Timber out to Rockford. That is really exclusively a Illinois Department of Transportation project. Now, Metro will operate the project, but the funding, the capital, the extension, that comes from the Illinois Department of Transportation. So while we're involved in kind of what it will take to staff and to operate that line, but we as Metra are not involved in the acquisition of the lines or capital expenses related to extending that line.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? I do have one, Director. Regarding the bikes, do they get charged extra for bringing a bike on?
No, they don't.
And then what's the capacity on each train?
So it varies by train. I don't know that every train trip has a bike car on it.
Right.
But when it does, it's anywhere from, I think, 5 to 9 bikes
Okay.
per train.
Okay. So you're tracking to see if we're getting close to capacity. And then you would add additional bike cars if you
That's
needed?
something that we continue to look at.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
And I notice it looks like this young lady that's trying to get her bike up the steps is struggling.
Yeah, a little bit, but our conductors do assist.
Help out,
We've had some
okay.
discussion because there really has been an expansion of e-bikes. And as all of you know, an e-bike
Those are a
can
lot
be
heavier.
like almost like a mini motorcycle to what looks like a bicycle with a motorized, and the weight varies. So our conductors will on occasion help, but it's up to the individual to be able to get their bike on and off the passenger.
Is the design of the new rail cars hoping to, maybe get it down to a lower level?
So it depends on the line and the station. So some of our lines, our platforms are at grade, so you can walk directly into the car. Others require a step up.
Okay. Thank you, Director. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is consent agenda. Does anyone want to remove anything from consent?
No.
Once? Going twice?
Once, only once.
Williams moved to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Right, okay. So the motion for consent agenda is Mr. Williams.
I'll second.
And second by Aurora. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Christmas miracle.
It is.
Alan?
I'll be a Grinch now.
Rayo,
Odo, yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Garcia, Sripe, Gums, Iqbal,
Yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Genesis,
Genesis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Strathman, yes. Sturgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Sis.
Thank you, everyone, for that. Okay, is there a need for executive session? Yes, there is.
Brief one for pending probable imminent litigation and settlement of claims.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second to go in closed session?
Caius move.
Sanchez seconds.
Who was first?
Caius.
Thank you, Mr. Caius.
Reasons stated.
Mr. Sanchez. In the closed session, so if I can ask everyone to go out into the hallway, take all your stuff, please.
Us too. Can we-
And hopefully this will be very short so we can get back.
Well, jinxed it. Honey, you jinxed it. 30 minutes.
Two. You know, if you're leaving for the day, thank you everyone for participating and coming, and have a good holiday.
You've got our own.
All right, those that are in the room and logged into Zoom, reminder, you must exit
Must.
Zoom before we can go into closed session. Those online, you will be getting an invite. We just need to get everybody in the room out of Zoom.
So everyone leave Zoom, please, if you're in.
Oh.
The solar stuff. Whose idea was it?
Short advertisement where we're going to close session. We have treats up here if you want to participate.
I still have some people in the room that are still in the Zoom. Mr. Sanchez being one of them.
No,
Miss
not anymore.
Bates
I don't know
being
what you're
another
talking
one
about.
of
I'm not-
them.
Tell them there's a lag.
Yeah, it's a lag. It's an imposter. Anybody else?
Blair, are you waiting for us online?
No, you have,
Oh,
you
no,
could
I'm
just
trying to
stay.
get the people in the room kicked out, so.
Can't be in Zoom
Mr.
during
Gripe
closed
is
session.
one of them as well.
Mr. Gripe, you need to get out of closed session, please. Or not
Blair,
Zoom,
I
I
give
mean.
you all the authorization just to kick everybody out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See,
Miss
that's what
Mozo.
it means to be a boss, John Frank. You're in the room. I got to kick out people from afar.
Coordinating with the other attorney in the room to make this go faster for us.
Is that the voice of God?
Is he committed to doing it in 2 minutes or less?
Bullets I'm
That's-
catching right now.
Listen, if he doesn't do it in 2 minutes or less, I will fire him on the spot.
And Merry Christmas
All
to
right.
you, John.
Timer.
Give us more work for you.
Thrown down.
I've been looking for a reason to leave. All right. Hot mic in all of this.
Considerable compensation.
Online folks, I need you to accept your invites.
Go, buddies. That's good.
Oh, it's gonna cost you, you know.
Well fit.
Sir, are you joining us in the closed session?
You have to accept your invite, Jamie.
Yeah, I would take that as a no.
Spoiling your lunch.
Up, she disappeared.
All right, you are in open session.
Okay, we're now in zoning petition. Oh, yes, thank you. We have to take roll.
Allen, Arroyo, Bates, Doherty, Garcia,
Garcia here.
Gripe, Gums,
Comes here.
Iqbal,
Iqbal present.
Juby,
Juby here.
Caius,
Caius present.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Lewis,
Here.
Linder,
Here.
Molina,
Molina present.
Penesis,
Hennis is here.
Roth,
Here.
Sanchez,
Sanchez present.
Strathman, Surgis,
Sturgis present.
Tarver,
Tarver's here.
Tepe,
Tepe here.
Williams.
Williams here.
You have a quorum in the room.
Thank you. I'm going to turn this next one over to Mr. Williams for development.
Thank you. The next matter for your consideration is TMP 25-1399, the petition number 4673. The petitioner is CFP Illinois IL Orchard LLC. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Iqbal to run since I have a conflict and will be recusing myself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. Give him a moment to step out.
Chairman, I would like to invite a motion to consider this petition and a second.
Okay. Can we get a motion and a second, please? Tarver, motion.
Caius second.
Thank you.
Mark is here and he will introduce the petition for us.
Okay. Mr. Van Kerkhoff. Welcome.
Thank you. And good morning. Before you is petition 4673 CFP Illinois Orchard Solar LLC. The petitioner is here if there are any questions. The information is in your packet. This is another special use in the F district for
Can you get a little closer, please?
community solar project. In this case, it's actually 3 5-megawatt solar projects co-located on the same project parcel for your rezoning petition. Petitioner is here if there's any questions. Natalie Zining and I are also here if there are any questions.
Okay.
Any question?
Yes, Ms. Juby.
So I don't recall us ever having a 3 projects in one location kind of a thing. Are these all managed by the same group? Are they all going to be separate? How do we, like, I don't really understand why there's 3.
Sure. So for community solar projects, they are limited. They're specific under the state statute for the type of project it is. They're limited to 5-megawatt projects. So far in Kane County, what you've seen is single projects that are 5 megawatts or less. In this case, the petitioner is proposing 3 different community solar projects on this same parcel or parcels. So in terms of their operation and plans for those, I refer to the petitioner.
Okay, so basically this is just a workaround the law. Because they're not allowed to do bigger than 5, so they're going to do 3 of 5.
Correct. And I can let them address that more specifically, but there's no prohibition to co-locating 5-megawatt projects on a single project. Maybe they can explain the nuances a little bit more in depth.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Juby. Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Gripe.
Thank you. Sorry, Mark. So community solar, I know, is a differentiator for other kinds of solar projects. Is the implication that the electricity generated from this project has to be used in the community solar vein, or could it be directed anywhere that somebody decides to put it?
Sure, I'll let the petitioner address that also, but generally the understanding is that community solar projects, one of the reasons they're restricted in size is they are generally supposed to service subscribers that are within the geographic area of the project. But again, I'll let the petitioner make sure we address that more thoroughly.
Okay, thank you. If the petitioner wants to come up, please. Please state your name and your company. Get real close on that mic.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, thanks. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gary Lanos. I'm here, I'm the lead developer of this solar project. I'm here with Clean Field Power and my colleagues, Novel Energy Solutions, who will be the owner and operator of the project once it's constructed. I'm taking this opportunity to point out a few important facts related to the project. First, I'll just highlight that this is a big economic investment in the community, which will generate electricity for the ComEd power grid and create over $4 million in new tax revenues without straining local resources. The new electrical infrastructure built, which will allow for the power to be distributed to the grid, totals several millions of dollars and will be paid for by the project, not by ratepayers. The environmental benefits of solar farms are obvious. It will provide clean, renewable energy that reduces greenhouse gas emissions, improves local air quality, and supports sustainable development in the community. King County is committed to being a solar-friendly community, and our project adheres to all Kane County commercial solar energy facility requirements, significantly exceeding them in many cases. The property itself is classified as either resource management, open space, undeveloped, or agriculture in all future land plans available. And today it's completely surrounded by over 1,500 acres of farmland. There's only one home and one public road within a half-mile of the project. And if you go due west, it's over 2 miles before you encounter any residential areas, and 1.5 miles due east. Rather than being converted to new land use permanently, a solar lease gives the current landowner a new reliable income source for their property that also preserves the land. And the few objections that we have received are really conceptual in nature. We've heard concerns that a solar farm will deter future residential development. This is simply not the case. To demonstrate this, we conducted a zoning consulting report, which evaluated property values and further established that it meets all special use standards. Additionally, there are multiple Illinois-specific studies which have actually shown property values increase slightly when within the vicinity of a solar farm. We've also been told by multiple landowners and the municipality officials themselves that there are no utilities currently in the area to support residential development. Of the 5 municipalities notified of the project, Sugar Grove was the only one that objected, and they have not responded to a letter we submitted to them back in October. Specifically, we were told a residential development might be coming west of our property, but no evidence was provided to us or is available publicly. This would include annexation of large plots of land by Sugar Grove, but that process has not formally begun either. Either way, we have provided a significant setback on that side of the property of over 500 feet at its closest point, which is also behind attractive trees, and approximately 800 feet at the southwestern corner where that attractive trees is not available. So I ask that the zoning board not make their decision based on any of these conceptual plans, but of the merits of the project and the fact that it complies with all Kane County's requirements. We appreciate the opportunity to bring this project to life in the next 1 to 2 years. Thank you for your time. And we have our landowner here that would like to make a statement as well, Mr. Scott Jessing.
Please.
I'll
state
try.
your name.
Scott
and-
Jessman.
And then, stay close to the mic. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try. Good morning. Thanks for considering the project. Our family's been in the area a long time. I'm 4th, 5th generation. We had lumber companies, employed a lot of people. We own a lot of farm ground. This parcel plus 1,000 next to it. Sugar Grove has to go through us to any direction. Any way it wants to go, extend Gordon. We sold our ground to Kimball Hill north of the tracks years ago. That's the only stuff that has sewer and water in the area. Everything where we are now is there's no sewer. Fox Metro is going to run a 60-inch main. 20 years ago, they still haven't. There's no one coming. So we're always going to be farming. We farm the front half, we put it in the very back. We talk to probably 40 or 50 solar companies before deciding on these. It's a big decision for our family too. My daughters, my nieces, my mother, the world's changing, things are different. We're still going to farm everything else. It's out of sight. They're putting data centers supposedly in Yorkville. It's crow flies a mile and a quarter away. All the other neighbors I talked to, including Whiter, who owns the piece to the west, said, "Hey, you know, do what you're going to." We've intentionally kept it out of sight. We intentionally made it so it's not obtrusive, it's not visible. There's a drain tile runs through the center. I'm on that drainage district. I'm the president of the drainage district that runs through our airport. Everything we did was designed to make it as unobtrusive and contribute to, you know, the power grid, which we're all lacking in. As you guys asked earlier, but community solar is 40 acres or less. And so this is going to be about 90 acres. It's going to be 2 less than 40 acre plus a 10. Supposed to be 50-foot border all the way around. Like they said, we took 500 on the one side where they didn't like it. All the other landowners, actually 2 of them are talking to solar guys now after speaking with us about how we're moving forward. I'm not objecting to another one on the other side of us. We touch every piece that's down here. It affects me more than anyone else because we have more land. So if it was ugly, why would I cut my own foot off to pursue it? And at the end of the day, in 30 years when this expires, if the sewer and water is there, this reverts back to green space or farmable, tillable land. It's not, you build houses on it, you put data centers. I don't think that goes back. One day we'll have that stuff. Today we don't. I hope we have renewable power sources. I mean, obviously we want to be good members of the community, and that's why we're here. So if I can answer anything else or he can, we're more than happy to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Juby.
I just have a comment. I appreciate the fact that you are going to stay maintaining farming in our community. And I just wondered if you had looked into our farmland easement conservation programs as well. That could also be another way for your family to maintain generational farming. But Mr. Van Kerkhoff can help you with that if it's something that you wanted to look into, as well as the solar aspect.
Thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Gripe?
Thank you. Just kind of a follow-up to what I was saying earlier. So community solar is 5 megawatts or less. But I heard that this electricity will be heading out to the grid. And I know nothing about, you know, how it gets to the grid, how you segregate the electrons to go one way or another. So how does this, you know, this is what the owner wants. How does the money get to, or how does the electricity rather get to only community solar uses and not dumped in with everything else?
Understood. Yeah. So thank you for that. So each of the projects will be 5 megawatts. They're community solar, and they will have their own unique point of interconnection with ComEd. And so that's why they're segregated and thought as 3 projects. The subscribers to the project are the ones that would benefit from the electricity. So anybody in the community has the opportunity to subscribe to the project. You know, it could be a municipal building, municipality. It could be, you know, a local business. And it's kind of a virtual framework where you sign up for the power, and there's an agreement with ComEd. They've helped facilitate it so that it shows up on their bill, essentially. It allows ratepayers to lock in that rate with the project. And so you won't be as exposed to some of the fluctuations in energy prices from just, you know, your run-of-the-mill kind of energy bill that you would have either as a residential ratepayer or as a commercial ratepayer. So there will be a team that goes out and tries to get subscribers to the project. If Kane County Board knows of anybody that would want to subscribe to it, we'd love to hear from them. There are some limitations where you can't have one subscriber to the entire project. That would be more akin to like a power purchase agreement, which that is not what this is. That's why it's open to the entire community, which is kind of the ethos to community solar in general.
If I may just follow up on that, I've tried myself to find community solar credits and get no luck. I've tried bunches of times on ComEd's website and elsewhere. So I think you guys know a lot more about that. If you could help us help people like myself or anybody else that wants to subscribe to this or get it, but I haven't had any luck.
Yeah. I mean, we certainly can market it into the community, and that's probably the best way to do it, right? Is to, community members that, see it in their backyard. They want to be able to take some of the benefits of that and subscribe with the project.
Mr. Linder?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we're talking about a community. Is there a boundary to that community, or can somebody in Indiana join that community solar project?
They need to be a ComEd customer.
ComEd customer anywhere?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a restriction how far away they could be?
Only to the extent of ComEd's territory.
ComEd, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Ms. Bates?
Mr. Gripe and Mr. Linder, many of these questions will be talked about tomorrow at noon at our committee of the whole. We are working on a proposal, a possibility of putting some community solar on a Kane County property. So at noon tomorrow, we'll be talking about community solar and how it saves money for the subscribers. And and I believe part of the problem with getting onto community solar as a resident, as a consumer, is that they get sold so fast. So I believe that's why we need more solar panels in the world doing their job.
Ms. Gums?
Thank you. Gums here. I have a really quick question. It hasn't come up before, but can somebody explain from your angle the research that went into this project as it pertains to proximity to the airport? There are some limitations as far as solar fields within 5 nautical miles. So I would like some information on that.
Sure. We did perform a glare study. I don't know if you've seen it's within the petition record. It was determined that there wasn't going to be no impacts to any federal aviation, FAA airports in the area. Typically, they look at the observation tower as the main point of focus, and it was determined that there won't be any impacts to that. I think it was determined there could be less than 0.2% of the year some kind of visual impact in the area, but it will be mitigated by the visual screening for the project.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Allen?
There is a cutout on the map at the bottom of the project on Jericho Road, a cutout for what looks like a residence. And I just wondered if we knew who lived there and if they had been contacted about this. Do you know what the piece I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
They have been notified. Any property within 250 feet of a solar project in Kane County is notified automatically when you apply for your special use permit. They've been notified. We did not hear from them. They're the one residence within a half mile that we referred to. So the access road from Jericho goes on a half mile. As our landowner pointed out, we wanted to, hide the project and, make sure that there wasn't any aesthetic concerns with it. The only, equipment that's going to be near that home will be some utility poles to interconnect with ComEd.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Surges.
Come up to the mic, please.
This house there to the east is ours also. So the three in there are neighbors that have talked to all, they run their dogs and do stuff on our farm with us. He said, no, it's not going to impact us at all. At last, I talked to him like 2 weeks ago.
Thank you. That's what I
Right,
was
thank
hoping
you.
for.
Okay, next, Mr. Tarver, you had raised your hand.
Thank you. I was just curious, the landowner mentioned that you had interviewed or connected with 40 to 50 different companies. What was it about this company that stood out to you?
Several things. I think they're honest as they go in this business or blacktoppers or whoever, right? It was a time frame. I got a letter the other day from another one. What they want to do is give us 5,000 this year, 5,000 next year. That doesn't even cover your legal to review the documents. 10,000 the year after, 15 and 25. Punchline I'm headed for is that's a 5-year window where I cannot negotiate. I cannot do anything. And they say they give us 4,000 an acre in up to 5 years. Well, what if the rate's 8,000 an acre? I'm locked in. I can't sell it for residential. I can't change to anything because the time frame was too long. This was a quicker, get through the approval. We'll have this up and running. Well, start hopefully construction. We're talking March, April. With federal guidelines contributing that much money, they need to have substantial progress by next year. We all talk about it. We're actually going to put it in. We're going to do it. We still live here. My mom lives 2 miles from here, lived her whole life. My brother lives in Aurora, Sugar Grove. My sister lives I live in Sugar Grove. My uncles, we're all here. We're all neighbors. We're not going anywhere. So it's important that it was something that we can be proud of, right? Not just because we wanted the money or we wanted to, whatever. We put our names on it too. So I need someone that's going to not embarrass us or do something that's detrimental to the area.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions? I do have a question. Is it?
Surges has a question.
Okay, sir, Mr. Surgeon, you go first.
I'm just curious I know it says Sugar Grove, but whose district is this?
It's in mine.
It's in Mr. Leonard's.
Okay. And Bill, can I ask, are you in support of this? Have you spoken with the neighbors or?
Really, there were no neighbors to speak to. And in fact, with respect to the vote today, I'm deciding whether to vote or abstain because I do have a relationship with the landowner. Although it wouldn't be affected in any way financially, I just think it'd probably be better if I abstained from voting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Leonard. Mr. Surgeon, any follow-up questions?
No, I just like that landowner's voice. He's got nice pipes.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, I have, is it limited to residential or can it be also commercial?
Subscribers?
Yes.
Yes, it can be commercial.
Okay, it's just, I heard one limit. It can't be one customer, correct?
That's right. It's not that simple, but can't be more than maybe 75% of the energy that's being produced going to one.
And then the following question, what is the potential savings? I know it varies by day, but are we talking 10 cents kilowatt or?
For electricity?
Yeah.
It's about market rate, but the value is locking in that rate. So
Okay, so then as everyone else goes up, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions? Okay, let's call the vote.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Arroyo,
yes.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
Garcia,
yes.
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby,
Juby, aye.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard abstain.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina, yes.
Penesis,
Genesis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Williams,
He's
passes.
Okay, it passes. Okay, thank you everyone for that. The next is 5-445. Ms. Stratman, would you want to cover this one? It's an no, I'm sorry. This would be Mr. Surges. You want to cover this one?
Is Miss Labrillo in the room?
She is not.
Read it
Yes, I believe, Mr. Frank, this is the second reading. Is that
Yes.
correct?
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
County board?
For county board. Yeah, we did it last
'Cause we
month.
did the special.
Yes. So I would just call for the vote, please.
Okay, so I need a motion for ordinance.
Sturgis moves.
Sanchez second.
Okay,
Bates.
Surges motion and Linder was second, I believe. Okay, any discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Allen,
Aye.
Arroyo,
Oh, yes.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, aye.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Bush, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
Hennessis, yes.
Roth,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
passes.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
everyone.
The next resolution, I'll read it. It's on page 767. It's a personal expense voucher, resolution 25-483. And it's for an amount of $128.60. And it's for Madam Chair travel voucher. Can I get and I'll make a motion. Can I get a second?
Strathman will second.
Thank you, Ms. Stratman. Okay, any discussion? Call the roll.
Allen,
Aye.
Arroyo, Bates,
Yes.
Doherty,
Doherty, aye.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Bush, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
Hennessis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
passes.
Okay, thank you. The next motion, this is the one, Ms. Stratman, you want to handle this one or would it fall under administration? Okay, thank you.
This is Resolution 25-484 is approving and authorizing the termination of office lease at 1750 Grandstand Place in Elgin. This is the current facility that we are closing and moving to our new facility. And so we're finishing up the lease and saving some money.
Okay, thank you.
A motion, if somebody will give me a second.
8 seconds.
Guys, seconds. Okay, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Allen,
Aye.
Arroyo, Bates, Doherty,
Doherty, aye.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Juby,
Juby, I.
Caius,
Yes, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
Hennessis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Williams, passes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Gripe.
Didn't ask my question fast enough, but when, is there a date for this lease to be terminated?
The end of the contract.
It's in the contract.
We'll
So-
essentially terminate it early is the issue.
It'd be
And
early.
you have to
term.
give a 90-day notice. And so the sooner we get this done, the sooner the 90-day
Got it.
notice goes out.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Number 12, new and unfinished business. Does anyone have any new business or unfinished business? Yes. Les, please come
Waited
up.
all this time.
Thank you so much. From the clerk's office, we are holding our ribbon cutting ceremony for the new satellite office.
You get closer, Liz.
We are holding a ribbon cutting ceremony for the clerk's office. It's a satellite office opening up December 17th. It's next Wednesday at 11 a.m. The clerk's inviting you, so I hope you all can make it. This has been some years in planning and hoping for him, and he's done it. And thank you, Cheryl and the health department and the county board for purchasing the facility.
Okay, I have one question. Is this the same day as the public health
Yes,
And we're starting at 9:30 for the public health?
9:30 will be the
All right,
public.
so
health
Michael, you
meeting.
got to be done by 11.
No problem. We'll be, and it will be a celebration for.
And do we need to
Dr.
RSVP or just show up?
If you can RSVP me, that would be great.
And by email, sorry.
It's going to be cake. There's going to be some light refreshments, coffee. So, and a tour of the building. It's going to be actually the ribbon cutting itself is going to be inside because of the weather. So I'll try and have some balloons on the outside, but the seals on there and everything.
Okay. This is very exciting. So thank you.
Hey, Bill, did Celeste say she was baking cookies?
But I sure can.
But you got to be there in person, Mr. Surges.
Ouch, ouch.
Such as Ally. So anyway, does everybody have a?
Yes. Did
sheet?
everyone get the
Okay.
flyer?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr.
Like to say, if I could, that I think Miss Bates should offer to buy us lunch more often. It got us out of here
Yeah.
by 11:30.
Okay.
Mr. Gripe?
Mavis, could you just repeat what you had, the lunch thing, so everybody
Oh.
knows?
Everybody's invited to go to Wicky's.
The one on Kirk Avenue?
Forest Preserve Building, ice rink.
Okay.
For future reference, let's not announce where all of our elected officials are going to congregate.
That's correct.
Just,
All right.
just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
The one in Kentucky, right?
Yes.
That's the one.
Any other new and unfinished business?
Mr. Chair, I just have one statement.
Yes.
The legislative committee members, I'm going to be having a special meeting just to get a resolution out of the way. So I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to ask you to look at your calendars and then let me know.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
One
Surges?
more reminder,
Yes, Miss Bates.
this is a special committee of the whole, in case you don't know it. Tomorrow at noon, we will cover all the questions that I got from the people I've talked to, which is just about everybody, about the possibility of considering to maybe put solar panels on the Fabian property
Okay,
with
thank you.
many numbers, lots of numbers.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Caius.
Breaking news from the administration committee. There's a opening next week. Oh, no, you mentioned it already.
All right,
Just-
that's,
just a follow-up.
would that fall under committee updates as
Yeah,
versus
it would
new?
be jail and committee, under committee updates. Yes.
We haven't started that yet.
Oh, really?
Well, we were doing new and unfinished business.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's a committee update.
Okay, all right.
Sneak
All
it.
right, we're in committee update. Let's
Okay.
go.
Jail and kitchen renovation. I know you heard this in admin or in exec, but the jail and kitchen renovation are beginning now. That's capital from the capital fund. Gun range and HVAC replacement system are underway now, and that's ARPA money. The signs for immigration are going up this week, and I'm not sure. I think they're up.
Okay.
They were in a truck last time I heard, but they are here and they're up for the immigration. And you may have noticed the holiday decorations by our department. So
Okay.
they're up around.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Going once?
Mr. Chair, Surges?
Yes, Mr. Surges.
But God, say it like I'm the plague. Jeez. Mike, can you share human services tomorrow? I will be online, but feel it's appropriate to have you there.
Yeah, I plan to be there. I can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, the final one. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Doherty?
Yes, Doherty.
As this is my last, I want to thank everybody for the kind response to my words, and I will miss you all. And please keep up the good work. You're all doing great work. And I would like to make a motion to adjourn until the day before my birthday.
Very nice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Gums will second.
Sanchez said already said.
Oh, she got it.
Oh, who did?
Gums.
All right, Gums. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. We finished in 1 hour.